Hello, fellow actors and enthusiasts, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another episode of To Be an Actor.
Welcome to our channel and action.
My name is Sigela Yeleni, and this right here is a platform where we speak all things acting, how to get into it, how to be better at it, and how to get yourself through the journey that is acting. And today is a rendition of Give the People What They Want. First of all, some housekeeping. I have not been here for a while now, and I would like to thoroughly apologize for the inconsistency. I've just been on a touch and go, right, of not knowing how to best come across in this platform or on this platform, and maybe a bit of a perfectionist, right, in terms of wanting whatever it is that I do to land in a practical way. So I have sort of been trying to figure out, how do I best talk about these things and have them translate to the viewer, to whoever that needs them, and actually have them use these practical tips or these tips that I have been giving, because I've been sort of trying to take some stock in regards to how people have been responding, some comments, and still some questions that I get. And yeah, I thought maybe let's try it this way, right? Let's ask people what they want to see on the channel and deal with that specifically. Let's hold for the plane. So that's what we do on set. When there's a plane, we either pause or we cut, because it just does not work. So I don't know if you guys can hear it now, but we'll pause for the plane, because that's exactly what we do as actors. We have to pause for the plane on set. All right, we're clear? So it's been really that kind of vibe, and I've gone onto the Instagram streets specifically, because if you don't know, I do have a channel on Instagram called To Be an Actor. So if you just have us right here on YouTube, we also have another spot, or like another platform on Instagram. It's a channel under my personal account called Sikelelwa_6. So if you want to be a part of our community, please do the right thing. Check it out on my own platform, my Instagram platform. So I went in ahead and asked the people there, what do you guys want to talk about? What would you like me to talk about? Where are you? Where's your mind? And today I am doing the first edition of that, because I realized that we can group the kind of conversations or the topics. And one topic that came up the most, which is the one that we're starting with today, is all things agency. And a side note, we do have an episode on representation on the series of To Be an Actor here on this channel. So if you would like an in-depth conversation on that, please do check it out. But today we'll be responding to some questions, right? So I'll keep looking this direction so that I can answer the questions, or look to read the question and come back and answer. That's how today's episode is going to go. And I'm hoping to keep it short and sweet. All right, so the first question is, how to get an agency and how do you apply for one? Do I need experience? So I'm going to just ask all of the questions, and some of them may sort of be similar, but we'll figure it out, right? So getting an agency, first of all, is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself as an actor in South Africa, specifically because that is what I know, South Africa, right? Getting an agency is vital for you to just have some sort of chance to figure out what the industry is like, what briefs are there, and so how do you get one? There's a lot of agencies in the country, but more specifically, I would suggest one you get under the PMA listed Personal Management Association, right? That's what PMA stands for. That is where you would want to find an agency, or rather you would want your agency to be registered under the PMA, because it would mean that they also have some backing, they also have a home. So they are basically checked in the industry kind of thing, right? Not to say that every other agency that is not is totally off the books, right? Especially if you are at just an entry, like person that just entered the industry. It's a bit difficult for me to say go straight or head straight for the PMA registered agencies, because they're big, they've been around, and they potentially would want you to have some experience, or at least have studied and have a qualification in the field, right? So for example, some agencies go as far as every, like, let's say end of the year, they would go to vets, they go to AFTA, they go to maybe let's say UJ. So all of these institutions that have acting, they maybe go check out their end of year pract. So that's where they will check out their talent or scout for new talent, right? So now it's a bit difficult if you don't have that platform of school, right? So the best thing you can do, the best thing you can do is sort of find a place where you can show your expertise. So for example, maybe if you're part of a community theater, that would be great. Or if you can find a platform where you can shoot your reel or your monologue or your show reel kind of thing, right? And maybe have a scene, remake that scene, shoot it, and have a headshot and communicate. They'll send an email to these people. But another thing is, usually agencies have an intake time, right? So for example, I know that my agency, specifically Canvas Cam, would usually do it at the beginning of the year. So by March, you're not going to be trying to communicate with them asking to find a spot in the agency, because they've done that. There was an open time where they said, okay, cool, we're looking for people, this is the time, if you want to apply. And they would have the details obviously of how to apply. Also, I remember I've seen that with MLA, they were doing it in the beginning of the year as well. So a lot of agencies try to take their people at the beginning of the year, because also it's awkward to be getting people during the year. It's a weird time. Things are already rolling kind of thing. So the best time to try and find an agency is at the beginning of the year. Do you need experience? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But agencies would love to know what they are representing. So knowing this or having experience would be such an ideal thing. I know that was a long answer. I'm hoping that this will also somehow help me make shorter all the other responses. Second question is, what are casting agents looking for in talent? So when we say casting agents, I'm sort of thinking you're speaking agencies, right? So it's a difficult one. They just want talented people that they can be able to sell. Is your talent sellable, right? Are you great at your art, or are you great at your craft? Also, it's a bit of a weird one, because it's hard to tell if I haven't worked with you, if I haven't sent you an audition brief and you've gone to audition, or you've sent me a self-tape, and also just you've had experience with, it's a hard one to answer. But just be great at what you do and take care of your art, take care of your body, take care of your mental health. I think those are the biggest things, right? I can't say this specifically is what they're looking for. A second question from Tule Martins is identifying scams when it comes to agencies and auditions. How to identify those? How do you identify scams when it comes to agencies and auditions? I also have mentioned a couple of things around that on that representation episode on this series. So how do you identify them? Sometimes it's very difficult to identify them. However, you must always check the email address and look at where this post is coming from. See if the main account of this specific, for example, let's say they'll say they are casting for Shaka Ilembe, right? They're casting for Shaka Ilembe, and you are just seeing this on a random WhatsApp group, or you're seeing it in these mass, maybe even on Facebook, If you see something like that, the first thing you want to do is go check the main social pages of these people. So Shaka Ilembe is done by Bomb. You must go check out the Bomb Productions page. Does Bomb Shelter Productions have a post out saying, thank you for making it this far into the episode. Please don't forget to share, to subscribe, and to like. Let's make this video blossom. We are like, if it's not there, it's not real. So keep checking. Also ask around. Never put yourself in a position where you will only find out after you have contacted the person, because it's going to sound too good to be true for you, or rather it's going to sound so good that you think it's really true, you know, and that's when it's usually not. So identify scams by you going to sort of check, right? Make sure that you go check and see, is it real, is it not? And the second question is, how do you identify the scamming agents? Guys, if someone is going to ask for money firsthand from you, if it's going to be the leading thing, that's one of the biggest chats. And also, who's on your books and are they working? You know, I think it's so important for us to because that person, an agent is someone that works for you. Yes, you're working together, but essentially they are working for you. You pay them, right? So if you're going to lead as the agent with money, I need to pay for, no. Why am I paying? Unless they're only speaking about, we have to set up a shoot for you. That's why it's so important for you to do all of those things yourself, actually, and say, I have already taken the time to invest in my craft by going and taking proper headshots and maybe, let's say, a monologue reel, so that you can see what I can do, so that you as the agent don't have to go that route. I already have them, meaning I don't have to give you money. The only thing they can lie about after that is probably like, okay, cool, but we're going to set up a profile for you on our whatever. But if it's a digital thing, why am I paying you? Do you know what I'm saying? If anything, you can take your commission when you get me my first gig. I haven't even gotten an audition from you. You know what I'm saying? So we must also be very diligent when we seek it. We must not be too desperate that we are willing to take anything that comes. But the biggest identifier is money. If they're asking for exuberant amount of money from the jump, condo off. How do I reach out to an agent with no experience? So I've just said it. I'll just repeat it quickly. The best way to do it is email them, and to look even more prepared is sending a headshot and maybe a monologue reel. But maybe start with the headshot and say, this is who I am, and I would love to find out, when are you guys taking people in, or is it possible to audition for your agent, kind of thing. So always be professional, always be professional on your email, and having a proper professional headshot will always help, because they can already see, is this a look we want to represent? Is it also something that we don't have in our roster already, so that they don't take you when there's like 10 people that look like you in their agent? You know what I'm saying? And the fifth question, I'm not too sure exactly. Does one need an agent to get gigs? Does one need an agency to get gigs? 95% of the time, yes. Because the agents are the people that get the briefs first. You can't get a brief on your own unless you have been in the industry for a while and you already have created relationships and you've networked enough for people to think about you directly. So if I've worked with you on a show and I really loved your work and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Six would be so perfect for this job, I know I have Six's number, and I can call Six up and say, yo, there's this, would you be keen to come and audition for it, kind of thing, right? There's those instances, those things happen, but an agent is essential, because even when you get that gig, someone must be handling your contractual agreements, someone must be negotiating terms and conditions for you, because it's highly likely that production companies are going to want to rob you, because they're trying to save. So having someone that has your best interest at heart is always good. So have an agent to get the gigs. Even if you get the gig on your own, most times you hit your agent up and say, hey guys, I've just received this, and yeah, we can now discuss the commission factor because I brought this to you guys, but you are handling my admin, because also we want to just be like just stress-free as an actor. You want to step on set and just do your job. Next is, I want to know more about how to find agencies and how to apply on there. And then I think it finished. I think that is already answered. How do you get your agent? Yeah, I've spoken about that. How to find one. Check under the PMA's website what agencies are registered under the PMA, and also you'll find their email addresses there, and then you'll do everything else that I just said. And the next question is, do agents really require one to have acting experience? Most of the times, yes. But if you don't have any other option, right, it's always great for them to ask you to audition. Sometimes they do, most they do have you audition. Like for example, my agency, when they do that intake process, there is obviously the first phase, like the first screening of some sort, and then they're like, okay, cool, we'd like you to come in and audition for us, and you audition in front of them. So those are like chances for someone that doesn't have acting experience, that we can actually see you, right? But most often, because you don't have, it's a bit difficult to know what they're working with. Hence, I will always advise, get a professionally shot monologue or scene, so that when you do get to those application processes, you can be like, I know you can't tell how good I am, but please give me a chance. Here is something I've done, so that you can have an idea of what I can do. Second last question is it possible to join your agency without experience? If yes, how? I've already explained that. So as I said, I'm gonna go through all these questions so that everyone feels seen. I've just explained how you can do it. And then the last question is, how do you begin your acting career? So most people, or rather, in fact, there's multiple ways to answer this question. First is school. Go find a school and acting program, a place where you can try and see this thing come true inside of you. Explore it, be confident in it. If you look through, once again, on the To Be an Actor series, there's multiple episodes. One of them is also speaking about having these platforms, acting institutions that you can go to. Actor Spaces is there, Star Quality is there, Market Lab is there, I think Dimandrova Academy, and you've got your AFDAs, you've got your VETs, you've got your UJs, you know. Yeah, so there's platforms where you can learn the acting thing. There's Dramatech, and people that do one-on-one coachings and stuff. So that's how you could essentially start your acting career, choosing to go to school. Or you can YouTube your way to the top, which is less ideal, because acting is a very interactive kind of job or moment for the plane. Acting is a very interactive job, right? And it's hard to do it on a digital platform only. So I would definitely not suggest that. So the best way to start and to build yourself and build your confidence and see what you can do, your potential range, is always just a platform for you to play and learn, and that's school. Especially if you don't know much about acting. So I would suggest that you check those out as someone that wants to begin an acting career, but also research, watch things, so that you can figure out what's happening in this world. And yeah, also talking about the monologue shooting and the headshots, we have a platform that we offer these services on, and you can check out my business page, Six Lens, and Sky Juice Studios and the Creative Block. We have collaborated in doing something really, really special. So if you are keen to come and join the space, let us know. All comes at a price. Please do inquire, DM us, and we can see how we can make your dreams just start on a screen, right? Professionally looking. And this was another episode of To Be an Actor. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I apologize for my silence and my inconsistency. A girl is going to really try to do better. But again, your responses and your comments would really mean the world to me, so that we can take this where you want it to go, because essentially this space is created to serve you and your potential curiosities and where you want to go with this acting thing. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and do all the right things, because this platform is for you. And if it grows, it helps both myself and you, and those that also want to find this space. So maybe the three of us. See you on the next video.